Welcome to Emperor Rzak. I'm Zach. Today we're not just talking about food, we're talking about power, real power, the kind that belongs to the people, not the banks. Imagine a currency that's not controlled by politicians or foreign markets. A currency you can touch, taste, and grow in your backyard. This is the food currency, a system that can measure the value of life itself. From the leaves, inugu leaves of plants, fruits, meats, you know, a system that brings big knowledge down to small power and big power to small people. Today we explore how this idea could transform Africa, empower local markets, and give citizens control over the true source of wealth, nutrition. I know that sounds awkward. Nutrition, the source of wealth. We'll go deeper into it. Um, go deeper how we can build an economy that literally feeds us as it protects our values. I mean, financial value. Because, as I said in a previous conversation I had, you could sign up to work for $100,000, or let's not say dollars, let's just call it things. 100,000 things for a 5-year contract. And by the third year, you're actually getting that's 100,000 a year. And by the third year, in real life, you're getting about 70,000 things. But you're not complaining. Why? Because the currency is the same. So you're getting $100,000. But those $100,000 can't buy you 100,000 things that you signed up for anymore. They just gave you that paper. So now you've got a situation where your value is actually going down for the same work that you put in daily, for the same things that you do, for the work. So your currencies cheating you. You sign up to be working hard to buy, when you started working, your salary could buy something useful for you. You thought about it and say, yes, I could work for this salary. This is a good salary for me. But by the time you've spent 5, 6 years in that same position, you find out this money is now like not working for this life that I was living before. And this is all because of a currency problem, a problem caused by not being connected enough to the evaluation system of the currency that you signed those contracts with. So today we're going to be looking at an alternative that can solve that problem just by adding a little thought to the situation. We'll solve the problem by just thinking about it, but I want you guys to think with me because, as I said, you can sign a contract for 100,000 things, and by the third year, you'll be getting only 60,000 or 50,000 things. But everything in the contract is legitimate. Where did they cheat you? They cheated you by trying to tell you that that contract is worth, that currency they signed you with is going to be stable enough for you to rely. So you trust everything is trustworthy, but the only thing missing is that currency. That's why you see most people, like for example in Nigeria, when they big contracts and stuff, they sign in dollars because they don't trust the naira. It's like for them, it's like it's not a real currency because the real currency is not based on just people talking, people saying today is a bad day, tomorrow. The basic citizen of the country, they don't know why the currency goes up and down. They'll just write something on the newspaper, try to find out if that thing makes sense. You find out it doesn't make any sense. What is numbers? 2.2, 1.2 inflation, 3.4 infiltration. Sure, they're dabbling you. So today we're going to talk about the solution, the real solution. You see behind me, there's a sign that says "Bring back food as currency." Now, before I start to go into the solution, I just want to remind you This is not a new solution. It's actually the only solution. It's the old solution, and it's still the only solution. It's the reason why money exists. It's this food. Food is has always been currency. If you want to try that to the basic organism, animals, plants, it's always this transaction of food. This is value. This is socializing brings part of the main one of the main reasons of socializing and movement is food. Food is currency. I'll give you examples. If you look in Africa today, you see there's dairy systems that still use food as currency, and they are really big dowries. But those people are rich in a way that maybe they can't see. So dowry systems like 50 cows, 10 cows. This is money because they're paying bride price basically. You know what bride price is? So that is the system that's been existing before we started carrying cash and going to these dubious banks to deposit our hours in paper or whatever promises. So you work, you sell your time, and then you put your time stamp in this bank. The bank will reduce your value of the. Forgive me, I'm just laughing, but the bank will now reduce this your time, the value of the time that you already sold. They'll tell you, listen, today your £5 is worth £3.50. There's nothing you can do. But what you're gonna do? You're gonna go to the bank and write a letter to who? So you can see there's a big disconnection from the banks to the people who they say they take care of their money. You have no power over your bank. Your bank doesn't care about you. What are you going to do? Make a big problem. They will use their lawyers, whatever. You know how it works. You can't touch those banks. They are more than money. They're not your personal service people. They are an institution, very powerful institution that protect themselves very well from people like you who might one day wake up and say, what's going on here? So yeah, before we go fly too far from the point, let's just restate what I was saying, which is there are situations where the value of what you have will depreciate just because of the value of the local currency. So and people that maybe are working less hard than you in other countries can come and buy your house for cheaper time. So basically, the bank will reduce the value of your time, and you're being taken advantage. They're taking advantage of you because you're not aware of how these things are supposed to work. You've forgotten. So before you couldn't reduce the value of a cow or a goat or chicken. You could trade in this kind of things very fairly. People could see, and then weight as well. You can weigh these things if you want to be very sure about the metrics of how it works, or you want to be exact, make it the exact currency. You could. Okay. So now going to the solution. The solution I was discussing is an old solution, very well known solution. Food as a currency. Food currency. A system where food is used as currency. Basically, like in the past we had like cows. You couldn't integrate all this food. I mean, we didn't think about it that way. We had all this food that we use mainly like animals or maybe yams as well. I know they traded with yams. So yams, animals. So we are talking about a system that can actually integrate most of the food that we use daily and make them valuable for sale. Like, make them evaluate them publicly. If you ask the average person now how much is a kilo of this, they might not know unless they frequently buy food at the market. So if you ask people eat every day, but if you ask them simple questions like this, like how much do you spend on a kilo of meat of cow? A kilo. Most people don't know. Most people, women. I won't say women, but people, people who buy food daily. People who take care of. Who are cooking steady. They'll know the price of a kilo of something. Usually, people don't know. They just come and say, "Give me this, give me that." So I'm just saying, generally, you will know the general price of something, but you won't know the specific price of that item. So we're trying to talk. We're talking about a system that actually titrates everything into the system. We're talking about foods like fruits, meats, grains, your tubers, all the spices and all that. So we we rate them by their nutritional value or their necessity or their difficulty of growing or availability on a normal day. This is how we evaluate these products. Now, I'm saying evaluate. Let's say we have a currency called food, and these experts, I'm giving you the solution. The experts, they will calculate together what they think this value should be. For example, for a gram. By the way, I made a video about it. If you want to watch the AI guy, but this AI they're not too smart, so I'll give you the breakdown anyway. Um, you evaluate what everything will cost per gram: salt, meat, leaves. As you see, carrots, whatever you find. What they cost per gram, and this per gram you now evaluate it. So you say, if we think that meat is more valuable than, for example, yam, we'll now say, okay, let's say the currency is called the F currency. That's what I called it before, just for reference sake. Let's say the currency is called the F currency. If we say meat is the highest, we'll just say, okay, this one is 10 F per gram. Or let's say 10 G's per. Let's call it a G. F it looks like a bad word, I don't know. 10 G's per gram. That looks like another. Let's use F. Let's use 10 Fs per gram. So if we think yam is not too valuable per gram, you can't be paying the price of yam. So we'll say maybe 1 F per gram of yam. So yam is 1 F per gram. So we now know the value of this thing. Salt is 2 F per gram. The rice is 3 F per gram. So we now know, okay, we're going to buy this and this. We know exactly what it should cost and where to get it. Now this is the second part where we know now if we go in the markets, we'll be seeing the food prices going up and down. And this also will stabilize food prices. As you know, we have a central system where we have evaluated the cost of these items, so we don't need to go to the market to negotiate what the price of these items will be. We just need to think where to get it from and how many grams we want and if we have the money for it. So this also solves two problems, and the third problem it solves is nutrition. Some people are not really sure about what is nutritious and what is not nutritious. I mean, if you have a good amount of experts that will look into these foods for us and now determine it to be nutritious or not for us, depends on whatever, and then the other factors like scarcity, how long it takes to grow, all the other factors, but the nutrition factor will be there, very clear for us. I mean, we have a central body that deals with the evaluation of food that is working like all year round, changing, adjusting, experimenting. So we're talking about a banking system that's actually taking care of our health as well. A system where, okay, I think people are not seeing that picture clearly. A system where, I'll talk about the fourth benefit because the system is not clear. A system where, as it develops, the knowledge of health and nutrition and it develops as well. People now start to understand where to be eating, what more to eat, more nutritious. So, people posting on Instagram, all this, they'll be posting fully nutritious plates, not just good looking. We'll be talking about different standards, different things to achieve. So that's the third benefit. The fourth benefit is, well, I'm not even looking at my notes now, so it's gonna go anywhere I choose now. The fourth benefit is the fact that we have a place. So this part is the food bank, which is like a food bank, which is like a market that runs with this system. So instead of calling it a market, anything that happen in the market, we call it a bank, because not only can you buy food there, you can also sell food there. You understand? So this is the fourth part. The market prices are stable. You can not only fourth, the prices of this food is stable, stabilizes, but is watched by a body that supervises how the prices fluctuate and why. And then the fifth part, because people can actually sell food to a place quickly, it motivates people to grow food and make money. For example, when the tomato problem, they said tomatoes was the price was going up, up, up. I mean, people that had small land at that time, they'll quickly make 100,000 just by activating themselves at that moment. They know, okay, if I, you mean they are selling tomato 1 gram for 5 Fs? They'll go buy, they'll be growing tomato. I mean, people will be encouraged because right now, when you ask people what to do in agriculture, they don't know. Like one of the reasons is where's the cash? How can I get cash? I know you think that's a no real. It is a problem because then there's all this extra cost that makes it a loss. By the time we centralize these things and make it more direct, where people can actually deposit small amounts of food, large amounts of food, get it bought by a central body that actually people there's enough demand and supply in the bank or slash market that there can be a flow of food where people can deposit food as money. So the bank will know, okay, we'll buy it cheaper or whatever, but we'll sell it whatever. Maybe there's a profit to be made, there's a handling fee, somehow, some kind of service. It could be a government funded situation. But I'm saying basically a place where you think, okay, this year go rough, or might just grow yam as well, You're thinking about it, you're thinking, okay, I know exactly how much I'm going to make if I grow this amount of kilos, so and so, And you don't need to be like super expert in the selling part, maybe in the growing part. That's the fifth part. So you're motivating people into agriculture, self-sustenance instead of buying food and all. So people start investing in agriculture because the business will be quicker. You can now deposit food. You don't use food like just you don't think about food just like when you're eating food. You're thinking you know how much you're eating as well. Well, that's the fifth one. Motivate people into agriculture. I didn't even write these notes. These are just advantages that I can think of by myself. The sixth one is I don't know if I've said this already. Remind me, but you're directly in control of the value of the currency that you are working for. So, if, for example, even if you're not a farmer and you're getting paid in this currency, the F currency, this currency that is based on food. You know that if you sign a contract for 100,000 mangoes in 1 year, next 5 years, they gotta pay you the mangoes, isn't it? So mango is mango. It's like no dollar can turn to 20 from 100 mangoes to 20 mangoes. Mango, maybe it's be cheaper dollar, what doesn't matter, but at least you sign for mango. So it's like you sign for so and so F's, you know, you sign the contract, and now it's like there's almost no reason why you are getting devalued after 5 years, after 10 years, So, but in this system that we're using, this fiat system, that connects us to golden situation, gold of somewhere we don't know. Basically, our currency is linked to the gold in the American bank because they are saying the gold is what they use to evaluate their currency. They don't have gold. What I'm trying to say to you is that there's only people at the top telling other people what to do, change the currency, make it this value. So all those things have to stop, because people that work hard, they need to get paid. And number 7 or 8, I can't remember anymore. But fair trade. What is fair trade? Fair trade is saying, okay, we'll buy your food and we'll pay you the right amount. No problem. Just buy in Fs and you'll be paying the right amount. If anybody wants to buy mango, come and buy the mango in the price of local price. We won't cheat you, and you won't be cheating us. Forget fair trade and all that. We don't need all that extra money or less money. Fair trade means you come to the country, you want to buy something. Let's use mangoes. So now we're not expecting fair trade. We go to our food bank. So our food bank now think about how currencies grow in value. They grow in value because they have necessity. Everybody needs food. I'm not saying we're going to supply food to the world, but if your currency is based on food that is not only consumed internationally but locally, don't forget that part. A local The local people can sustain the value of their currency by their demand for the thing that's giving that currency value. Are you seeing? It's like 9, 10, and 11 all in one. I'm just trying to help you out here. So the local people can create value for their currency by creating demand for the thing that gives their currency value. That is number something like 9, I think, So when people import these fair trade stories, when you import, then they want to send back the farmers some extra charity money. No, no, it's fine. Just pay the bank. You want to buy food, talk to the bank. The bank is regulating food exports. You don't need to be nice to anybody. Just pay the normal price in F's. So right now, what they do is they pay in naira, use dollar. After the dollar has been raised up, naira has been brought down. They will come do business. They'll put it back. So the Jojoro is too high now. We're not that slow. So my point is, then you will have power to control what you get for what you grow. So if you decide to become a farmer, you won't be thinking, see, I mean, import will be also increased. It's number 10 or something. Because when people understand that, I can go to this country and buy this food steady, this is the price. And the bank is now facilitating export. So people who want to import, they can just contact a central food agency. You understand what I'm saying? I'm thinking all this on the spot. That's why this is why I was saying I'm a natural in this thing I'm doing right now. It's a natural thing for me. I'm picking all this on the spot. So your your bank is handling exports. Any export of food that's leaving the country, they deal with this bank. So the bank pricing is perfect. They got demand. So now you're gonna be looking at demand. Man, I didn't see all this when I started. I just had some simple points. This number 3 to 11. They're all on the spot points. I do on the spot points all the time. I got a plan notes, but I've just not even started. It's already 23 minutes. So yeah, the advantages can go on and on. If you know any more advantage, you can also leave in the comments section and tell me something I missed. So I was gonna just try to run through these notes in case I missed something important. And I was freestyling, freestyling. That freestyle was really good. Don't forget, I'm showing you some of my videos. You can go make sure you subscribe, like everything. Yeah. Number 2, why this matters. Back to the local community. Yeah, I've explained that. Brings control back to local communities. So how does this work? You got scientists and nutrition experts, agriculture experts, economic, import export experts. If there's a thing like that, they come together to evaluate how much a gram of a specific food item should be worth. These evaluations can be reconsidered if there's a new evidence or there's new reason. By the way, it's not a permanent evaluation. That's how it works. So they evaluate, but we give the best knowers, people who know, people who will look into it and say, you know what, this should be worth more because it supplies way more this than that. We need our body needs, blah blah blah. I don't want to get to say I know exactly how that should run, but I think people can easily start doing it. And yeah, it should be flexible and not like if it's not flexible, then we're not open to new discoveries. We don't want people like animal producer, the farmers themselves to be manipulating it themselves. We have to mix the experts, evaluators or something like that. I don't know what the names would be. This doesn't include. I mean, those banks as well. They should be able to subsidize for people who are into processing foods. So if you're into like processing tomatoes or what, you get cheaper or something, or you get normal price or whatever. Something they will help to facilitate. So example, if you want to start your own tin tomato business, you can get a good. You already know what's. You can do your mathematics. No fluctuation up and down, not too much. For example, they will help boost other industries, processing industry. Once there is a source, because right now there's nobody that people can trust and say this food is not good. I bought it now. I got a business to run. Things are not working. Who do I? Who is responsible? There's nobody. So if we got that kind of situation where it's like a banking body, like a little food bank body, where people go, they get insurance, assurance, and all that. They will be able to start their industries, knowing the supply for their product. They can open their factory. They can buy what they need. Some people don't want to start a factory today because they don't know what could happen to their supply. By the way, this currency can be both digital or physical or crypto or I'm just saying that it's as long as it's being like authenticated, as we can authenticate that you have the actual owner owner of the money or the other. We can make it something like it works already like cash, or make it authenticatable. That's the word. I was already saying like you have some examples like yam could be like two, rice one. I mean I had AI help me do some possible valuation based on value that it thinks, and it was like catfish should be like 9.8, yam no, moringa leaves should be like 9.8, catfish should be like 9.2, yam should be like 2, white rice like 1. Like edika income, I don't know how, but like based on the combination, so the AI was able to combine some ingredients based on the combination. He said the Edika corn is one of the highest valued food produced in Nigeria based on its value. It should be valued at 9.5 per gram. Raw meat level, raw catfish level per. Yeah, Edika corn is hot on the list. Moi moi with egg. Sure. This AI the buzz, man. Moi moi with egg, 8.6. Jollof rice with chicken, 7.4. So I'm just giving you some examples. In the market, traders could accept payments in F, knowing its value is tied to real use. So yeah, so market people as well, when they, if they don't want to be in the bank, they know if they pick up money, if they sell in F currency, they know what it's worth. It means they can go buy what they want to buy with it as well. So there's a free market. You don't have to go to the bank. You can just. So basically, you can say you don't want to be. It's for a reason. People might be. You know what? I want to open my shop in the corner of the road here selling mangoes. People come, they'll just weigh the mango. No need to talk to them. If you raise the price, if you say reduce price, no need to go to the bank. Blah blah blah. All of that. So you have this flowing economy where people actually able to just raise money, grow money on trees, basically. So when they say money grows on trees, it'll be a reality we're talking about, not a story for kids. Real thing. Because money used to grow on trees. Money used to walk on the grass. Our cows, chicken, goats, we exchange them for what we need. That's money. Right now, we're exchanging our time. Our time is the most valuable thing that we have. Goat and chicken, they're not valuable like that. We can eat them, stuff. You can't eat your time. You know what I mean? So we can't just have time, have another time, children. You know what I mean? Time can't have kids that you can eat as well. Time is limited. There's no multiplication here. But we're selling that, so we need to be considering what we are selling. Yeah? There's different types of selling. For people. Benefits for people includes transparency. Transparency. Anyone can see why something has its value. anyone can see what something has its value. We can see that this has a value because we know that our scientists and our agricultural people and our economist people have said this, plus all the factors that we use to judge this is worth this amount, trust me. And as a nation, if people adapt it, that's so easy. Peace. Once you organize yourself in certain topics, you don't go back to it basically. So that's sorted. And then I said you can always review. If some independent scientists say this and that, we can look at that. Local empowerment, farmers and markets shape the economy directly. I've explained that already. How demand for this food boosts the value of this currency internationally. So we're talking about nobody. We don't need this currency gets value by exchange. So we're talking about a lot of exchange internally that actually it's a I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. It's an internal exchange. This is how countries get rich internally. The value you come to them, they say, "Oh, we don't need nothing from you, but what do you need from us?" And if they give you. Maybe you pay more for the outside. If you're using another currency, you gotta go buy this currency. If you're buying this currency, you're boosting the value. And don't forget, if you're boosting the value, people already signed to the contract. That's what I mean. The contract of 10 years contract. You said I signed 100,000 Fs. This this system will boost that 100,000 F. So if you could buy 100,000 things at the start of that contract, by the end of that contract, you're talking about 2 to 300,000 things because this system creates value. It's like not only is the money being grown on trees, but the value of this money is basically a tree. It will never stop growing. There's no reason who will stop eating, except the world just population just went down by 50% all of a sudden. You never know what's going on, Illuminati and stuff. You get me? So yeah, local empowerment, food security, encourage production and consumption of nutrient-rich food. Do I have to say more? Encourages production and consumption of nutrient-rich food. That's it. People now know what is to be produced, what they need to target for high value, for basically, we might have a problem finding rice and yam, which is, we know is all, those are the starchy ones, those are the ones that cause problem. But we love it so much. Gari, pounded yam, rice, rice make people, the eye they shook. Where's the rice? Where's the rice? Where's the rice? When we were in school, when we were kids those days, party rice. Where the rice time? Where's the rice? They all use rice kill us now. Party rice, you'll see like 3 pots: fried rice, jollof rice, white rice. You Chris? You get those three, your party is slacking. You're slacking. Education teaches citizens to understand health and economics together. Teaches citizens to understand health and economics together. Yes, because as you're growing up, there'll be discussions. You'll be knowing this is F's, this is Y, this is so you're creating a very educated group of people that people are going to be not just food conscious, they'll be health conscious. You will know when you're eating rubbish. You won't be like, oh, I thought this was good. No, don't lie, man. That biscuit was point 0.1 F and you still bought 50. You know you don't this. You know when to turn how to. They will help. Right now people don't really know. If you ask them what's good, what's not good. Some people think it's the meat that they eat that make them fat, but they don't tell you how many swallow they bought with those meat, how many pounded yam. I'm not here to judge about weight. I like to be fat. If I was fat, I'd be happy, man. I like fat. I love fat. All my guys, they chop up. What's his fat? What's his slim? So doctors already said, yeah, you can be having problems if you're a bit fat, but fat and health is not really the problem. It's poisons. People eat rubbish, toxins, small toxin. It doesn't. Slim people can have toxins. They kill them. Fat people can just have fat, clean fat. So it's all about other things as well when it comes to general health, cancers and stuff. So I was thinking beyond the country, beyond Nigeria. So I was thinking, because I'm not saying this video is for Nigerians, but I was giving a Nigerian example. That's why I was talking about those types of food. So beyond, so now we're talking about Africa wide or international wide. If this is possible internationally, can you imagine how much problem will be solved? So just imagine Africa alone, food currency alone. It's you're talking about relieving all those fair trade stories are over. People are getting what they deserve, not relying on foreign exchange. Who loves you in that United Nation that wants you to have high value currency? You raise your hand if you know somebody that loves you, United Nations. Nobody loves. They don't care. They want your currency to be in a way that they can take those resources while you're helping them take those resources for pennies, and those pennies will turn to even less pennies because they are looking. Nobody's watching. Let's do it again. They will double their own value, reduce your value while you have signed contract that you are going to be a good man, doing the best thing you can do to provide for your family. Each region contributes its own nutrient-rich staples. For example, Ethiopia has teff, Kenya has tilapia, Ghana has cocoa, Nigeria has cocoa as well, creating united but diverse value system. So the united but so something that shows the real complexity of such a continent like Africa, for example. I'm not saying it's just for Africa, but I'm saying this was more intended to stop currencies being devalued by people that are not in the continent. So we're talking about. I was talking about this currency basically for this area of the world, and if it's possible to spread it as well internationally. But I'm not too bothered about spreading or not spread. I was looking targeting a small group of people, showing the world how this system actually beats every other currency system right now. This is the best currency system the world will have. The world had it before, but if they put it, it will save you from rubbish. I mean, probably why they started making GMO food because that's where money is. They're trying to give you that dollar that buys 100,000 things and then 70,000 after 5 years. That's that GMO food because they're trying to reduce the value in the food because the food is value. So they are going now to bring you second class value food. That's this GMO poison food, all this chemical quick food doesn't. So when they say this food is worth this amount because it takes this long to grow, they want to cheat you by making it half time. They got chicken that's supposed to grow for 9 months or 1 year. It's ready for 4 weeks. This will make you richer, no? If this was so the cheating in this value system. So let's bring back a value system that actually regulates such behavior, so people know, "Oh, well, this chicken actually is not going to be valued at the same as this other chicken. This chicken took 4 weeks. We put all this into consideration when we give value, so people will stop trying to cheat and start trying to grow the right way. Oh, this thing you have, it has pesticide. This value is 90% less. Carry your thing to go. People will start encouraging people to grow natural, non-GMO pesticide. We're talking about money motivating people. Money motivates people. People wake up 5 o'clock in the morning. They appear at work at 5:15. No rushing, brushing in the way to work, washing. They are motivated. Like, I have to save my child from a burning building. Motivation is high. Money motivates people. Let's go. Educational shift. The goal: bring big knowledge to small power. Bring big power to small people. You understand? Bring big knowledge to small people. So the knowledge of food. What is this? You need a laboratory to understand the valuation, this and that. What's the content? Vitamin C. Bring this knowledge to small people. Do the work, present it to people through the evaluation system. People start to understand. Meanwhile, a chart is provided that you can actually see how these foods are being evaluated. What is the reason for this evaluation. This is knowledge, bringing big knowledge to small power, and then bringing big power to people, bringing big power to small people. Very simple. The decision to make value, to add value or to reduce value to themselves or to their currency. Big power to control their value, the value of their time. Because right now you don't have value for your time. You sign, as I said, you sign contract, you sign for currency that is fluctuating. That fluctuation signifies a lack of power to control your own life. Because you're signed, yes, you worked hard, you got a good job, you deserved it. But do you deserve to be cheated daily? Because daily they're cheating you, your currency is going up and down. Maybe when it goes up you're cheated, whatever. The point, you didn't sign for fluctuation. You didn't think about that, did you? But you signed a contract, there's money involved. Well, how does this money work? You didn't think about how money works, so you missed that part. That's where they got you. You usually, in a scam, the scam is usually very tight, it's tight space. If you see a magician doing magic, you think it's just they done two or three moves, you didn't see it. That's how this money thing works. So they signed the contract, you're a good boy, but they done you, man, they done you. Because now you signed that contract, but your values, the value you signed for, you're not going to get it in the next 3 years. They've already set it up in a way that your 100,000 is now worth 50,000, and you can't complain, because you didn't know at that time. That's magic. It also turns complex economic science into a tool that anyone from farmers to school children can understand and use. Very simple. I just previously just explained it. Basically, just bringing the science to the people, bringing the knowledge to the people. Create economic literacy through something as simple as knowing your food. Damn. Do I need to say more? Create economic literacy. That's giving people knowledge about the economy through something as simple as knowing your food. So, oh God, this is so delicious. Oh, create economic literacy through something as simple as knowing your food. This is something that's been available to us as human beings. We are naturally aware of our economic situation, so we know we got five. Those days, if you store one, I got 5 yam, I got this, that. But now we got all these other things that distracting us. iPhone, cookies, chocolate, or I don't know, maybe that's all it. I don't know, man. I'm trying to say that then we knew this direct reality of what we actually needed, so I won't need people. Food is one of the reasons why people go to work every day. I mean, you couldn't live in that flat and not eat. You'd rather eat than live in a flat. So food has to be the number one reason people go to work. Let's take away the food. Let's say we give them a job. You can get this flat car but no food. Hoo-hoo. Nobody will do that job. But add food. Say you can get food, but you can get a flat car, house. You live on the street but you get food. Or I can't even think about all of that. Or you get a flat car, house, but you can't eat. You will die, bro. So how you gonna enjoy this thing? So food has to be the number one reason we work. These are on the spot thoughts, by the way. Yeah, I really write my notes thing because that's why I'm laughing. I'm shocked actually. Food is the number one reason. I mean, we don't work for air, water. Well, I think water maybe okay, but I'm saying this is more like food and water, more the same thing. Okay. Number 8, bigger vision. Replace abstract, unstable money with a system grounded in the thing that sustain life. Oh my God! Hold on, my mouth a little. Replace abstract, unstable money with a system grounded in the things that sustain life. Jeez, but that's big, man. Replace abstract, unstable money with a system that is with a system grounded in the things that will sustain life. Very simple, but very difficult. Let me just explain a little bit. Just stop all this dollar, pound. You don't know what's happening. How today is what 250, tomorrow 2,500. Well, how did you? Who said this? Well, how did you contribute? You don't know. Where's your democracy in this? You don't have. Okay. Build independence from foreign economic control. Exactly what I just said. It's somebody. Look what happened to Zimbabwe. The guy just said, "I don't want white people in my country anymore." The next day, 1 billion Zimbabwe dollars equals to $1. People are going to tell me it's about. Tell me it's about something real, like something real, like something stopped being needed. What they had some resources nobody else needed. No, it's about ganging up, saying today you don't want to be our friend, so we will make you starve. They actually wanted to economic genocide to those people. They wanted to kill them by starving them. So people working, they're working for no reason, and what they want the people to say, "Oh, this guy is making us suffer. We need to get rid of him if we are to enjoy." So this is politically they could strangle a nation just because the nation doesn't want to comply with whatever they want. So you got this currency that is is a type of rope around your neck. So if you do anyhow, you push the chair, now you don't know triangle. So yeah, I'm giving you the picture so you look clearly at why this food currency has to be implemented if we're going to be liberated from any all those bogus stories coming or currencies based on bogus stories, groups of friends with military armies that shoot people if they don't say, whatever they say. They don't. If you don't agree with what they say, they will send those criminals with guns. They will shoot you. We have to be using our brain. As a brain, the pen is stronger than the sword. You get me? And I'm showing you right now, the pen is stronger than the sword. All the soldiers, I remember I met this, so I'm not disrespecting soldier. I'm just telling you, if you're a soldier, you don't know who you're fighting for. It's not your family, not your town. You're part of some big regiment, they just deploy you, go kill people. But guy, you're a cock in a cockfight. They just, after they do another cock. Send a cock into the cockfight. People doing it for fun. Yeah, man, do that, man. You are dead thinking you're hard. You're not hard. Yeah, try to find out what you fight for, and then make sure if you're fighting something that you've decided to fight for, not because you are a bad soldier who kills them. Those are one of the biggest problems. Our soldier groups now need to become conscious. They need to be knowing what is happening so that they don't go help to make people suffer and help bad governments rule over innocently chilling governments. Okay. Well, that's it basically. I wanted to just give you guys a brief look at this topic. Basically give you that concept of food banking, both internally and externally, where we have a system that actually one provides a place and a system that evaluates, buys and sells food all at the same time, not in the same physical location, but deals with this as a body that deals with food, its evaluation, its export, import, all of that, and a body that can connect food to currency for that community or nation or continent or body or whatever. Uh, I've talked about the advantages of how it can boost the economy of a country, how it safeguards the value of your currency from the beginning of your certain contract or to the end. It actually might boost the value of your currency more likely. And we talked about how it's not going to reduce in value because if you sign 20 mangoes, mango is mango now in grams. Unless they change all mangoes to GMO, then we have a problem right there. But if you have 20 mangoes, 1 year later you go to the bank, I beg take this 20 mango note and give me 20. You got 20 mangoes. You can't really do that with a dollar, can you? Or with your naira, can you? No. So we're talking about a very stable option here, and yeah, independence from people, speculators, stability, information to people, power to people. motivation to go into agriculture for most people that, finding people say they don't have jobs, they want to make a living. Told you simple situations where uh, economic crisis can easily be reversed. For example, if there's a tomato scarcity, it's very if that's the reason why the currency value is going down, we can adjust that easily by growing more tomatoes. But if there's a reason like gold, with the gold is finished, we have to go dig 50 more holes to find gold. That's very hard and all complicated. If they say they need more, we're lacking 20,000 tomatoes barrels. We can implement a system to produce 20,000 more. So stability is very easy, very direct, live and direct. Yeah, I was just making sure I put some voice into those videos I made because it looks like those videos they didn't really cover much of what I wanted to explain, and I had to put it right basically. So, you see the slogan there is "Bring back food as currency." Sign is very small. If you know anybody that makes sign for me, or maybe I'll put a sign later. Bring back food as currency because that's the best currency in the world. That's how people still pay bright price today in most parts of Africa. People still can sell food. Farmers, I mean, don't forget South Africa had a problem because the farmers they know what is food. They wanted the land back. That's where the money is. You see, they wanted that land back because that's where the money for those people come from. So the people like, listen, just don't worry about what you're saying. It's fine, you can stay, whatever. Just give us the land, cause all that chat. So they're like, nah, man. So now they're fighting to keep the land. That's where the money is. The land's got the ability to grow money in many ways. You could dig it up, find some gold or whatever, or you could grow. I mean, this digging up story is just waste. Whatever you find in the floor, it's not that useful. I mean, now we got oil and gold and stuff, but before you know it, all those things won't be useful. We have people inventing cars that use battery but don't need charging. So well, we're moving there already. So I'm not interested in battery cars. By the way, but they haven't fixed them properly, radiation and stuff. But now we're moving away from all the things that we dig from the floor that we say we need. We're moving away from diamonds. People making diamonds in the lab in 15 minutes. They'll make the biggest diamond if you want. Gold. What do we need gold for? Since you were born, you eat gold. Did, if you had to choose gold or food in the desert, would you choose gold? You would choose food. You choose water. So let's just try to make the basics the most available, the most important, so we don't lose focus. Because once you lose focus, that's when they'll scam you. That they're scamming you right now. You've signed that contract, as I said at the beginning of this video. You signed your contract 100,000, but now it's 50,000. They have doubled. They have changed everything for you. You are now they're owing you more. You can't do it. You can't collect that money. It's no longer in your area of jurisdiction. You don't have that power. You can't touch this part. You can only touch the part of the contract you signed. You can't touch your currency valuation. With this system, you can touch your currency evaluation. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this video. My name is Rzak, and this is the Emperor Rzak channel. Like, subscribe for more videos, and let me know if you have any questions you want to ask or anything you want me to topic you want to deal with. Thank you.